Oh, you think you've seen drama before? Honey, sit down because this one is about to blow your mind. Just when you thought the chaos between Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin had finally settled down, boom. Another shocking twist has rocked the entire love and hip-hop universe. And trust me, you are not ready for this one. Chrissy Lampkin. Yes, the same Chrissy who stood by Jim Jones through every scandal, every cheating rumor, and every public embarrassment, just got slapped and kicked out of the house. And the person responsible? Oh, honey, you're not going to believe it. It wasn't Jim Jones. It was his own son, Joseph Gilmo. Yes, Joseph, the one who's been quietly watching all the mess unfold for years, finally had enough. And Chrissy was the one who paid the price. And here's the part that's got everybody talking. It wasn't just a slap. Oh no. Joseph reportedly tossed Chrissy out of the house, leaving her standing on the sidewalk with nothing but her phone and a bruised ego. But why did Joseph finally lose it? And how did Jim Jones react when he found out? Oh, honey, when you hear the full story, you're going to need to catch your breath. Stay tuned because the truth behind Joseph's meltdown is even messier than you think. Oh, you think you've seen drama before? Honey, sit down because this one is about to blow your mind. Just when you thought the chaos between Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin had finally calmed down, boom. Another scandal has exploded. And this time, it's bigger and messier than ever. But the real shocker? It wasn't Jim Jones causing the drama this time. It was his own son, Joseph Gilmo. Yes, you heard that right. Joseph, the quiet and well-mannered one, finally snapped. And Chrissy was the one who took the hit. Let me set the scene for you. Chrissy, the same woman who stood by Jim for over 15 years through cheating scandals, financial breakdowns, and endless drama, just got slapped and thrown out of the house like she was nothing. And the person who did it? Oh, honey, it wasn't Jim. It was Joseph. And trust me, this wasn't just some heated moment. Joseph had been sitting on some serious tea for a while. And when it finally boiled over, Chrissy got caught right in the middle of the storm. And from what I'm hearing, the fallout from this? Oh, it's about to get real messy. So how did we get here? Let me break it down for you. If you've been following the roller coaster ride that is Jim and Chrissy's relationship, you already know it's been nothing but drama from day one. These two have been through it all. Cheating allegations, financial scandals, and that whole proposal disaster that still has fans talking. But through it all, Chrissy stayed. And Joseph? He stayed quiet, watching from the sidelines while his father treated Chrissy like an afterthought. But things started to shift a few months ago when rumors started swirling that Jim was creeping with none other than Brooke Bailey. Yes, Brooke Bailey from Basketball Wives. Now, let's be real, Jim hasn't exactly been a saint when it comes to staying loyal. But Brooke? Oh, honey, that hit different. Insiders started whispering that Jim and Brooke had been spotted together at private events, cozying up a little too close. And when Chrissy found out, oh, you better believe it was war. Chrissy reportedly confronted Jim, demanding answers. But Jim, being Jim, tried to play it off. He told Chrissy it was nothing, that Brooke was just a friend. But Chrissy wasn't buying it, especially after the receipts started dropping. Screenshots of late-night texts between Jim and Brooke started circulating. And we're not talking about casual "how are you?" messages. Oh no. These were "I miss you" and "when are you coming over?" type messages. And Chrissy? She lost it. According to insiders, Chrissy and Jim had a major blowout fight, the kind of fight that has neighbors listening through the walls. Chrissy reportedly told Jim, "If you want Brooke so bad, go be with her." And Jim? He didn't say a word. But Joseph? Oh, honey, he heard every single word. Joseph had been sitting in the next room while his father and Chrissy were screaming at each other. And let me tell you, Joseph was already fed up with his father's behavior. Joseph reportedly told a close friend that he had lost respect for his father after watching how he treated Chrissy over the years. But when he heard Chrissy call out Jim for creeping with Brooke, that's when Joseph reached his breaking point. The final straw came last week when Chrissy showed up at Jim's house. Sources say Chrissy was furious after hearing that Jim had been spotted with Brooke at a hotel in Miami. Chrissy showed up at the house unannounced, ready to confront Jim face-to-face. And this time, Joseph was home. Chrissy reportedly stormed into the house, yelling and demanding answers. Jim was sitting in the living room, trying to calm her down, but Chrissy was not having it. She allegedly started knocking things over, throwing pillows, and demanding to see Jim's phone. And that's when Joseph stepped in. Joseph reportedly walked into the room and told Chrissy to calm down. He told her, "This is getting out of hand. You need to leave." But Chrissy? Oh, honey, she wasn't about to take orders from Jim's son. Chrissy reportedly turned toward Joseph, pointed her finger in his face, and said, "This is between me and your father. Stay the hell out of it." And Joseph? "Oh, honey," he snapped. Before anyone could process what was happening, Joseph reportedly slapped Chrissy across the face. Hard. Yes, you heard that right. Joseph slapped Chrissy. And not a soft slap. Insiders say it was so loud that it echoed through the house. Chrissy stumbled back, clutching her face in shock. And Jim? Oh, honey, he just sat there frozen. But Joseph wasn't done. After slapping Chrissy, Joseph reportedly pointed toward the door and said, "Get out." At first, Chrissy thought Joseph was joking. But Joseph? He wasn't laughing. He reportedly walked over to the front door, opened it, and said, "And this is where the story gets even crazier. Make you leave." Chrissy reportedly stood there, still holding her face in complete disbelief. But Joseph? He didn't care. He reportedly grabbed Chrissy's purse, threw it outside, and said, "That's your last warning." And Chrissy? She had no choice but to leave. Sources say Chrissy stumbled out of the house, tears running down her face. Neighbors reportedly saw her standing on the sidewalk, clutching her face, and talking on the phone. And Joseph? Oh, honey. He reportedly closed the door, locked it, and walked away like nothing had happened. And Jim? He just sat there, watching it all unfold like he wasn't even part of it. But here's the part that's got everyone talking. Why did Joseph snap? Why, after all these years of staying quiet, did he finally lose it? Well, honey, you're not ready for this. Because Joseph had been sitting on some serious receipts. And when you find out what those receipts are, you're going to understand exactly why Joseph finally snapped. But hold that thought, because this story is far from over. The truth about why Joseph slapped Chrissy and kicked her out? Oh, honey, it's even messier than you think. Stay tuned for part 2, because when I tell you the real reason behind Joseph's meltdown, it's going to blow your mind. Oh, honey, you thought part 1 was messy? Buckle up, because part 2 is about to take this scandal to a whole new level of chaos. When Joseph slapped Chrissy and kicked her out, everyone thought that was the end. But, honey, that was just the beginning. What happened after Chrissy was thrown out of the house? Oh, it's even more scandalous than you think. Because now, not only is Joseph at war with Chrissy, but Jim Jones' whole empire is at risk. And from what I'm hearing, the fallout from this could destroy everything. So, let's pick up right where we left off. Chrissy standing outside the house, clutching her cheek in shock after Joseph slapped her. And Jim? Oh, honey, he was just sitting there, looking completely frozen. But Chrissy? Oh, she wasn't about to walk away quietly. According to sources close to the situation, Chrissy started banging on the door, screaming Joseph's name at the top of her lungs. Neighbors reportedly heard her yelling things like, "Open the door, Joseph. Who the hell do you think you are?" But Joseph? He wasn't hearing it. Joseph reportedly turned to Jim and said, "Don't even think about opening that door." Jim just sat there, looking torn between shock and embarrassment. And Chrissy? Oh, honey, she was losing it. According to insiders, Chrissy started throwing things at the door, her purse, her phone, even her shoes. And when Joseph still didn't let her back in, that's when she made the call. And guess who she called? Mama Jones. Yes, honey, Mama Jones. The queen of drama herself pulled up to the house like she was ready for war. Neighbors say Mama Jones pulled up in her SUV, stepped out in full glam, and stormed toward the house like she had a personal score to settle. Mama Jones reportedly banged on the door even harder than Chrissy. When Joseph opened it, Mama Jones reportedly got right up in his face and said, "Have you lost your damn mind?" Joseph reportedly stood his ground and said, "I did what Dad should have done years ago." And Mama Jones? Oh, honey, she wasn't about to let that slide. According to insiders, Mama Jones pointed her finger in Joseph's face and said, "You don't put your hands on a woman ever." But Joseph? He wasn't backing down. He reportedly told his grandmother, "Chrissy's been playing Dad for years, and you know it." Mama Jones reportedly turned to Jim and said, "You're really just going to sit there and let him treat Chrissy like that?" And Jim? Oh, honey, Jim didn't say a word. He just sat there looking completely checked out. Chrissy, meanwhile, was still outside. And that's when things took a turn for the worse. According to sources, Chrissy pulled out her phone and started making calls. And honey, this wasn't just a venting session. Chrissy was calling in backup. Reports say that within 15 minutes, 3 cars pulled up in front of the house. And let me tell you, these weren't Chrissy's girlfriends coming over for support. These were some serious-looking men. Joseph reportedly saw them pull up, looked at his father, and said, "Do you see what she's doing?" And Jim? Still nothing. The men reportedly got out of their cars and started walking toward the house. And Joseph? Oh, honey, he was ready. He reportedly told Jim, "If you don't handle this, I will." And Jim? Oh, honey. That's when he finally woke up. Jim reportedly stood up, opened the door, and told Chrissy and the men, "Get the hell off my property." And Chrissy? Oh, honey. She was fuming. According to sources, Chrissy reportedly screamed, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me?" And Joseph? Oh, honey, he had the ultimate clapback. He reportedly told Chrissy, "You weren't doing it for him. You were doing it for the money." And Chrissy? Oh, honey, that's when the real tea started spilling. Because, according to insiders, Joseph had been sitting on some receipts, and he was about to let them all out. Joseph reportedly looked Chrissy dead in the eye and said, "You think I don't know about Freddie?" And Chrissy? Oh, honey, she went pale. Freddie, as in Freddie G, Jim's business partner. The same Freddie G, who's been involved in Jim's real estate ventures for years. Joseph reportedly said, "I've seen the texts. I've seen the pictures. You were meeting up with him behind Dad's back." Chrissy reportedly said, "You're crazy. I would never." But Joseph? Oh, honey, he pulled out his phone and said, "Then explain these." According to sources, Joseph had screenshots of messages between Chrissy and Freddie, late night, "I miss you" messages, suggestive photos, and even plans to meet up at a luxury hotel in Miami. And Jim? Oh, honey, he looked like he'd been hit by a truck. Joseph reportedly showed the messages to Jim, who scrolled through them, his face turning ghost white. And then Jim reportedly said, "How long has this been going on?" And Chrissy? Oh, honey, she had the nerve to say, "You've been doing it to me for years. I was just getting even." Joseph reportedly looked at Jim and said, "You see, she's been using you this whole time." And Jim? Oh, honey, he finally snapped. He reportedly stood up, pointed toward the door, and said, "Get out." Chrissy reportedly screamed, "If you don't get to kick me out, this is my house too." And Joseph, oh honey, he fired back with the final blow. He reportedly said, "It's his house, and you are never welcome here." Chrissy reportedly stormed out of the house, screaming at the top of her lungs. Neighbors say she got into her car, slammed the door, and peeled off down the street. But here's where it gets even messier. Because according to sources, Freddie wasn't about to take this lying down. Freddie reportedly called Jim later that night and said, "If you cut me out of the business, I'll take you down with me." Yes, honey, Freddie was reportedly threatening to expose even more dirt on Jim if Jim tried to end their business relationship. And Joseph? Oh honey, he was not having it. According to insiders, Joseph reportedly told his father, "You need to cut him off now." And Jim? Oh honey, he reportedly agreed. But Freddie? Oh honey, he's still sitting on those receipts. And if he leaks them, this could destroy Jim's entire career. So now the question is, how much more is about to come out? Is Freddie going to drop the video? And will Chrissy try to get revenge after being kicked out? Stay tuned, because in part 3, we're talking about the fallout, the lawsuits, and the blackmail. And honey, trust me, you're not ready for what's coming next. Oh honey, if you thought part 2 is wild, sit down because part 3 is about to take this drama to another level. When Joseph slapped Chrissy and kicked her out, that should have been the end of it. But honey, this is love and hip-hop, and things don't end that easily. Because the fallout from the scandal? Oh, it's about to get legal. And from what I'm hearing, careers, reputations, and bank accounts are all at stake. So let's jump right back in. Chrissy had just stormed out of the house after Joseph exposed her affair with Freddie G, Jim Jones' business partner. Jim was sitting there, scrolling through Chrissy's leaked messages, looking like his whole world had just collapsed. And Joseph? Oh honey, he was standing there with his arms crossed, looking like he had just won a battle. But here's the thing, this wasn't just personal drama anymore. Chrissy's affair with Freddie didn't just betray Jim emotionally, it had the potential to destroy Jim financially. See, Freddie wasn't just some random guy. He was one of the primary investors in Jim's real estate empire. That means if Jim tried to cut him off after finding out about the affair, it wouldn't just be messy, it could be financially devastating. According to insiders, Freddie had put over $2 million into Jim's business ventures. And now that Jim was threatening to cut him out, Freddie was reportedly preparing to fight back. And honey, Freddie wasn't about to play fair. Insiders say Freddie reportedly told Jim, If you try to cut me out, I'll make sure you lose everything. And Jim, oh honey, he wasn't ready for that level of betrayal. Joseph reportedly told his father, "You need to cut him off." But Jim, oh honey, Jim was torn. Cutting off Freddie could mean losing millions and possibly his whole business. But staying in business with the man who had been creeping with Chrissy behind his back? Oh, that was a hard pill to swallow. But Joseph, oh honey, Joseph was ready to go to war. According to sources, Joseph reportedly contacted Jim's legal team and told them to start drafting documents to dissolve any business ties between Jim and Freddie. But here's where it gets even messier, because Freddie? He wasn't about to let that happen quietly. Freddie reportedly called Jim and told him, "If you try to cut me off, I'm going to leak the video." Yes, honey, there's a video. Apparently, Freddie and Chrissy weren't just exchanging texts. They were allegedly caught on camera together at a private party. And from what I'm hearing, oh honey, this video is bad. Insiders say the video allegedly shows Chrissy sitting on Freddie's lap, whispering in his ear, and even kissing him. And the person who recorded the video, oh honey, it was someone from the Love and Hip Hop cast, and they've been sitting on that footage, waiting for the perfect moment to drop it. And Freddie? He's reportedly holding that video as blackmail. Freddie reportedly told Jim, "If you cut me out, the whole world is going to see what Chrissy was really up to." And Joseph, oh honey, he wasn't having it. Joseph reportedly grabbed his father's phone and told Freddie, "Leak it. I dare you." Freddie reportedly laughed and said, "Careful, Joseph. You don't want to go to war with me." And Joseph, oh honey, he was ready for war. According to sources, Joseph told Freddie, "If you leak that video, I promise you'll regret it." But Freddie wasn't backing down. He reportedly told Joseph, "I have enough dirt on Jim to ruin his entire career and his whole image." And Joseph, oh honey, he had one final card to play. Because Joseph had been doing some digging of his own. And he reportedly uncovered something that Freddie really didn't want getting out. Apparently, Freddie's business deals with Jim weren't exactly legal. Joseph reportedly found out that Freddie had been funneling money through Jim's real estate projects to cover up some shady financial moves. And if that information got out, oh honey, it wouldn't just ruin Freddie's reputation, it could lead to criminal charges. Joseph reportedly told Freddie, "Go ahead, leak the video. But when I expose what you've been doing behind the scenes, you won't just lose your business, you'll lose your freedom." And Freddie? Oh honey, he